All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Not So Wide Divide. As you can see, we got Tory back with us today. Welcome back, my man. It's good to have you back.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Been a while. Just been busy, though.
So, yeah, our got me low. We all have so many things going on.
Right.
Just to do this.
Because you know I talk with my hands and it's going to be packed.
I mean, what's this?
I'm trying to prove myself.
So we just going to do a quick little recap. And just kind of discuss some of the things that Cody and I have discussed, and kind of get Tory's, take on it and see.
You don't sound that list you had of the questionnaires that's coming out Monday.
I probably do, because I wrote them on my phone.
We can start with that.
All right. So our last, the one that's going to come out the next, we kind of just talked about some personal quirks that we have. We were talking about like toilet paper, like it's belong over or under.
We never covered that.
We didn't, but we started there and we went over it, and like everything, we didn't get back to it. So I had a list, so I just kind of start like we'd start with them. So condiments, mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, it belongs in the refrigerator or the pantry?
Refrigerator.
Everything.
Mayonnaise. I mean, until you open it. So in our household, it's like this. If you get mayo in my mom's house, it's probably going straight in the refrigerator. In my household, if it's not open yet, being that we got it off like that, it's going to stay there till we open it, and then it's going to go in the refrigerator. So ketchup, I like my ketchup cold. It's going straight in the refrigerator. Mustard too.
Yeah, I think so. What Cody said, mustard is always in the refrigerator. Ketchup, it's not a huge condiment in our house, but we have one in the refrigerator and one in the pantry. Mayo, it's almost always in the refrigerator, like you, unless it's not open. Right. But I was telling my kids talk about my sister. It's none of her condiments in the refrigerator.
So it's all
in the
out.
pantry. And my kids think that's the weirdest thing in the world. They're like, man, I'm like Cody was saying, you go to a restaurant,
it's on the table.
Packets of mayo, mustard, ketchup that just sit there. They've been in boxes in a warehouse for God knows how long.
Right.
But it was just funny how everybody takes that.
Yeah. I don't want to get into too much details. We had a whole episode on this. Let's get Tory's take on it.
So we went to favorite brands. So, like peanut butter. Are you a peanut butter eater?
Not anymore. As a kid, oh man, I died with it. So, and then it didn't really matter what brand, because we pimped it out regardless. Like if you got peanut butter, we putting it on a spoon, turn the stove on, melt it, slide it on the bread, add a little sugar. So it really didn't matter.
Damn.
We was gonna make that peanut butter work. So no, I don't have a brand.
All right. What about mayo?
Not really, because I don't eat a lot of it. So no.
All right. Toilet paper.
Charmin.
Cheese.
American.
Well, coffee. Do you have a...
I really just started drinking coffee, and I only drink it when I'm probably bored. So it's not even something I like to do. So
what about any other drink? Whether it be soft drink or alcoholic beverage, something that's your go-to?
Growing up, Hawaiian Punch. The red flavor, the old school flavor, not the new stuff we have now that tastes like cough syrup with no sugar.
From the metal can or from the plastic jug?
Back then it really didn't matter, but if the metal can was cold, oh man, it took you about 3 seconds to drink it out the metal can. Alcohol, I mean, I was in the Army, I used to drink Seagram's gin, man, and from there it was Patron, and now I just drink either Ciroc or Crown.
Candy.
Charleston Chews. Look it up. It's old school.
That's a good candy.
You can't really. If you're a marshmallow and chocolate lover, that's your candy.
What about hard candy? Non-chocolate. Let me see that. if there's a difference in if you.
What it was. It used to have these candies when we were small. It was like clear. It was a candy and it chewed into bubble gum. And it was like almost into a clear wrapper. I can't remember the name. But that probably was my what's the name of that candy? Pass. Gas. Somebody just passed gas when I said pass.
Toilet paper over or under?
Get the job done. I don't have a matter.
We didn't hit this one.
We didn't hit this one, so I'm gonna let you go because I know the right answer.
It's over.
It is 100% over.
All the time.
I'm gonna tell you how I know it's over because I used to be a didn't matter kind of guy. My wife was it's over. If you look up the patent for the toilet paper holder, there's a diagram with toilet paper
And it
on
shows it
and it goes over.
And it even has the illustrated paper
Right.
coming over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it was 100% designed to have the toilet paper on it
To
going
come.
over.
Yeah. Fast food. Favorite fast food.
I don't have one.
I mean, what you go to? If you're driving and because they all on the same block, and then every town you go to.
I don't really have a go-to. Like, if I want something, it's going 9 times out of 10 be something certain, and I'm gonna go get it. So the easiest to go to because I could probably feed the kids, probably McDonald's, Burger King. But
So
if it's just me
if it's
riding
just you,
down,
you don't get a burger.
I'm not going to get a burger. I'm probably going to El Paso and get a puff taco, extra cheese,
A puff taco.
extra
Let me try
queso.
that.
Oh
El
my
Paso,
god!
Okay.
I love El
I'm gonna
Paso.
try. I've never tried a puff
Worst
taco.
fast food. Someplace you're not going.
I'm not gonna do it. we don't.
So what? I mean, that's the point of
I'm
it.
not gonna do it, man. I'm not gonna do it. Everybody's good.
Man, you
But
horrible.
hey, all right, I'm gonna stop just in case we get some viewers and they gonna know what I'm saying. Just don't eat from everybody. How about that?
Everybody's good.
I'm
but don't
gonna
eat from
say this.
everybody.
We complained a little bit about customer service.
Yeah.
At I think Popeyes was the one we had talked about.
Popeyes and Taco Bell.
And
I love both. I eat both of their
well,
foods.
Taco Bell I actually brought up, and you brought up a good example of Popeyes with what a good manager should do, and I brought up the same thing with Taco Bell. When I went through it one time, there was the girl who was taking my order, phenomenal, so that there's good employees and bad employees everywhere, but
Right. Mine wasn't really much my experience wasn't really much the customer service. It was actually the product.
product wise, I love
Right.
Popeyes.
I can't being like
We don't have a single sponsor.
I understand.
So what, you have nobody to protect over here.
You want to tell me? I'll tell everybody.
Nah.
You want to write it down?
It's so funny because it's an insider and like man, like when you could just hit up somebody and be like, yeah, it's a local joint. When you can hit up somebody and be like, man, I never, and they bust out laughing and know exactly what dish and what meal you're talking about.
Well, we're gonna talk all day because I don't.
We can do that.
I know the answer to this, but I'm asking Android or Apple.
Android,
Apple,
man.
Apple, bro.
Come on,
I picked up
man.
my daughter's Android phone a couple of days ago, trying to help her find something on a dog. I can't operate it.
All right,
It's night and day. It's different.
This
bro.
is my Android conversation, and it might be. I can't. Never mind. I can't say it.
Why are you so bashful today?
Because, man,
What type
All
of...
right, this is my conversation. So growing up, right, we used to have this thing for fad. Like everybody wanted the latest, the greatest, whatever it was, the best. So then all of a sudden the light clicked on. Don't take this the wrong way. So you'll see me or you with an iPhone, and then you'll see the millionaire Caucasian guy still got the flip phone. Right? So I use the Android iPhone conversation to that. Like, y'all got the iPhone, it's good. But the millionaire Caucasian guys did the same thing with his flip phone. Long as it rung and he could answer it, that's what he wanted. So that's just my version of the iPhone.
Yeah, I used to had to have the newest model phone. This is like a iPhone 11, I think, and I just got this not too long ago. There were
8?
I had
$8 guy, right?
Hey,
see what I'm saying?
I had
See.
a 6, no, a 7. I had a 7 until like last year.
My wife gets mad at me because
Right.
my ringer does not work. I can't turn it on or it just stays off.
My battery died. My
So-
phone. Like I had to
She
get
goes,
a,
man, you need to get a new one. I'm like, it still works.
I had to as well
So-
because my battery.
So
died.
since we here, that's great. So he has the 8 and you have the 11, right?
11, yeah.
And what's the latest?
13's about to come out.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, there's 11.
There's
There's
an
3.
X.
Yeah, there's a couple between. I think the 13.
This is like just
supposed
a
to
base 11.
drop.
It's not like a like I think my
big
wife
one.
got the
No, this is
11S or
like the
something.
So why not upgrade?
Because I ain't wasting the money on that.
Oh, that's the only reason.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Android, same reason.
100%.
Android.
And look, it's funny because we even talk because it's. I mean, I've had this phone number, like, man, since I was 17. Like when I first got a
this phone number I have on this one used to be a Nextel.
I used to work for a guy, and he was like, "I need to get in touch with you," and he first gave me a pager, and I was like, "All right, cool," you know. And he paid, it was cool. It was in high school, I had a pager, and
You was slinging dope.
and
in
then
high
he
school,
says,
man?
"Hey, look, we getting this plan," and we had the old blue Nokias, and he said, "You know, here," and it was his phone number, and I had it forever.
Hey,
and then when I
hey.
changed over, when they first allowed you to start swapping numbers, I kept it, and that's the
Hey.
only phone number I had. But
When you had a pager in high school, you was a dope dealer.
Yeah,
man.
man.
I had a pager for like 5 minutes.
I had a pager for a while too. I didn't sling dope, but it's just
I ain't sling dope
It's,
either,
it's
but-
funny because that used to be the persona,
Right.
You know,
yeah.
if you had
why
a
you need to, why does somebody get in touch with you?
right, and
That
now
was the scariness of technology.
now
right?
10-year-olds have cell phones.
Exactly.
You know? It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
put it
so-
on my hip, walked through the grass, and lost it.
Oh, jeez. What type of, and this is going to kind of be hard for you because I know you're a fairly picky kind of eater.
Right.
What type of foods you will not eat? Like, whether it be sushi or Mexican, Chinese, like, not
So
specifically.
it's sushi. You already didn't.
Ain't happening.
Ain't happening at all.
Like mine, and Jared's actually was the same. It was just kind of funny. Coconut. Anything that's coconut, I'm not eating.
I can eat coconut. I like coconut actually. I just can't eat stuff that don't look cooked. Like I can't eat
But would you
sushi.
eat cooked sushi?
I can't eat. I don't know. I'm not eating it. No, I'm sorry. Just
What if
just
it's
the
cooked,
name.
like fried?
I'm not. I'm sorry.
What if we call it a roll
I'm
instead of
not.
sushi?
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
if you slip it on me as something else, yes. But if you say, Tory, this is sushi, it ain't happening. Man, you know, we from the South. I tried ball shrimp, bro. I could only eat 1 or 2. And
What?
I can't really do it.
Yeah, we went over this like
Yeah.
couple.
Why
first
do
couple
some things
episodes.
eat it? But bald shrimp, that's like as basic as you
I
get.
don't eat crawfish.
You don't eat seafood.
I knew that. I
He's
knew
not
you
a seafood eater.
I would never eat.
You don't eat
I ain't gonna say never because we never know
Right,
what we'll
right.
be. But things, if I had
Typically,
my own
right.
free will, tripe, pig feet.
You don't eat none of that.
I've tried them.
None of
I
that.
don't like
Yeah, I've tried chitlins. I never tried tripe.
Chitlins.
Have you ever tried it?
No.
them. I have.
That's
It stinks
That's,
when it's getting cooked too.
Yeah.
y'all would have to give me some other things because I'm basically.
no. I knew that was going to be a real broad thing for. I'll try just about anything, and I have tried. Like I said, if things put in front of me, you know, like I have one of my employees. She always talks about raccoon,
that
and
ain't
I was like,
no
"Huh?" And
roadside
look,
dishes.
I eat pretty. I eat pretty much every game that you can imagine, you know. And I like it. It's good. And she was like, "Well, you eat rabbit. If you eat rabbit, you could eat raccoon." I'm like, "Yeah, there's just something different about that." And I said, "You know what? Bring it. You cook it. I'll try it." One time she brought it, and I felt bad because she said, "I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator." And I was like, "All right." And I
You
forgot.
wasn't gonna
I
eat
forgot. No, again, because normally I do. And look, she's brought cow tongue.
I've eaten
I've
that.
eaten that. Which was surprisingly not horrible.
The first
It wasn't
time,
great,
the first
but it
time I
wasn't
tried cow tongue was remember that summer job?
Miss Janice.
Yes, yes. At
The Lafourche Parish School Board.
yeah, Bible Elementary School, just over the summer, and one of the custodians bought some cow tongue one time, and Jared and I tried it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys been weird since a long
Yeah,
time.
it's yeah.
I'll try it. I'm not. I can't
trying.
say I don't like something.
I
But I'll
can't.
try
I'm
it.
sorry, guys. I'm not trying it. I'm just
Bucket list destination.
ain't no. Oh,
One place that if you say before I die, this is one place I gotta go.
I don't know if we covered that.
We didn't. It's last on the list, and we were chomping at the bit.
Africa.
Any specific?
Just because of
No, like any region, north,
origin,
south,
you
middle.
know what I'm saying? Just to
Right.
be able to go see some things that should enlighten my mental aspect. It would be either Africa or Egypt. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
I would go with you.
You know what
I
I'm
would
saying?
love to see
just
Africa.
to see things different. Like you say, a couple hour episodes back when we was talking about freedoms and how some of us take the freedoms for granted. You know,
that's true.
so I've been I'm never gonna change my stance on that conversation, but I've been thinking about that. Like until it's actually really taken from you, what can you say? So with that being said, those places being one for culture and two for even faith reasons would be the two places I would want to go to get.
Egypt's definitely. I have a bunch of them, but Egypt is definitely a place that I want to visit for that same reason. Just to get historical, presence and I mean I can literally list 100 places, but
if it's one for me, it's Rome.
Yeah.
I want to see the Colosseum, and I love that period in history, and I would just like to go see some of those landmarks, and I'm a history buff.
Right. And even that'll still boost your mental. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the way we build stuff now,
right.
with machinery, and to go over there and see things that's built like that, and that was just man-made and animal labor. Genius ass
It's
shit.
incredible.
Right.
and look, not to get off, but we talk about conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and that's why when you hold our space talk with the aliens and shit, when you look at those things, it's like I think that's why that's a conspiracy theory that is, and I say it's a conspiracy theory, but the whole aliens and the pyramids and because it's like when you truly put that in perspective, going look what we can do now,
Right.
and it's we can't duplicate that. We really could. You couldn't take manpower today, even with the advanced knowledge that we have, and still build that in a time frame not like they did.
I think we can.
I mean, they've already. There's been millions of engineers. I say millions, plenty of engineers that said that the man hours that it would take.
But we're also limited by we don't have to think outside the box because we have the machinery.
Correct.
We have modern day technology, so we're not forced to approach problems the same way that they did back then. Manpower wasn't an issue because they had forced labor.
Yeah, and they had millions of everybody
of people
within a 700-mile radius that was drawn.
On top of which, this stuff wasn't built overnight.
Correct.
We know that.
This stuff took hundreds of years sometimes to build. So I mean, given the same time frame, same amount of people, with our modern day technology, ain't no doubt in my mind we can.
Yes, with technology, yes, there's no doubt. But that's what I'm saying. But to do it with
exactly how they did
tools and
I think I can build a pyramid, man.
I mean, we all think a lot of things.
Well, look, so hear me out.
That's a stretch.
Hear me out.
Dude don't cut his grass, and he talking about he can build a pyramid.
I'm not talking about me going out there doing the labor. I'm talking about if I was like the foreman, right?
So I'm like, what? Wait,
that's not building it.
And I do cut my grass. Know what I'm saying?
I know. You just said earlier, he's like, man, I really got to go cut my grass.
It's because
like it hasn't been done in a while.
It hasn't been. It's because of the rain. But so my thought process is,
take care of it for you.
If
me too.
The same concept of like kind of how they built Disney, right? Where there's an underground area, but that's actually level 1.
Correct.
And so
what you see is all built on top.
Right. So you're in the middle of a desert. It's got a bunch of sand. So if I build the bottom layer and then fill that up with sand and raise the actual level of the earth, and then build my second layer, and then raise the sand, build my third layer. Once I'm up to the top, I just gotta dig it out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's
how I would build it.
That's how a lot of people believe a lot of them were built.
That's all.
Because I mean, some of these stones are not even with manpower and animal power and levers, and you're not moving some of these stones. Right. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah. Let's move on to our next. We're gonna come hit the next. Our most recent episode that's aired was the eviction moratorium.
Give me a general.
So basically, you want
go ahead.
Okay, so basically, since the start of COVID, they put an eviction moratorium to where you can't evict people because of COVID reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
The CDC recently has extended that moratorium. The president doesn't think it's going to pass. At the time that we filmed it, didn't think it would pass.
Congress.
Well, not Congress. It didn't get voted into Congress, but they circumvented Congress because the CDC used their emergency powers or whatever to invoke it. He didn't think it would withstand constitutional muster by the Supreme Court.
That was his exact words.
But he said, I'm going to do it anyway. Now, just a brief about where we stand on it, because I think Jared and I were both in agreement. For the first portion of COVID, when people were out of work and it wasn't their decision or any choice that they made, absolutely 100% don't put those people on the street. But once we started getting stimulus checks and we started getting government assistance, I think that those people should have had to pay their landlords. And that's kind of generally where we were on that topic.
Well, we probably gonna clean sweep this one because I feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing of getting help. You know, when unforeseen things happen.
Right.
But once you done seen it, once you done realized it, and you can make, like I say, a rational decision for yourself, and as far as the safety of this 3-time virus, I think you should have been able to, one, put some money away from the free money that was given to you. You know what I'm saying? Two, if you actually lost your job, you did probably get unemployment, which was probably paying you more than your job already. So being in that mindset, coming from a working place, you always had to at least tell yourself, I always have to put away for tomorrow. And to know you getting a huge amount of money weekly, if you wasn't putting that away, once again, that's on you. You know, like, God and the government gave you something in this time, and you got to take it that way. Because I always hear people say, oh man, the government finally giving me some money, I'm taking it. And I'll be like, yeah, you can say it like that too, but in your faith, know that this isn't going to happen forever.
Right.
So please put some of it away to be able to take care of yourself. So with the eviction deal, I'm sorry guys, I know I'm always human, but you got to be responsible for this one. If the money was free to you or not, then you ain't put it away, and we stand to not pay people that use that same money to put back into the community or to even help somebody else get a job. We on our way to the bottom. So.
That's exactly what we stood with. It was like, I get it. 6 months in, because man, you talking about there's plenty of people that are landlords. That's their primary source of income. It's not like a side hustle. It's not a secondary income. That's what they do.
They invest in.
And I mean, that's their job, and they employ maintenance people to take care of these properties, and 18 months with no income. And you know how hard it was for a self-employed person to go file for unemployment?
Right.
Number one, the first 2 rounds of it, you didn't qualify for it because you were self-employed. So it was like,
and like you said, it was worded in such a manner that they use words like substantial loss.
Yeah.
But no definition on what substantial
yeah,
was.
so if you had 30% of your tenants not paying rent, and that's not substantial in one worker's eyes, but in my eyes, I mean, if because that's your profit on most of these things. It is a 20 to 30%, so that just means you're paying your mortgages.
And it really should be easier for that person because of the simple fact that they're not getting the tax breaks and they paying their own insurance, because they're not getting the company insurance. So to take a 30% hit and have to pay insurance bill when you go to the hospital or something like that is ridiculous. Like we said about the prescription earlier. Right, that's what I'm saying.
And they got to go now. I mean, because look, the vaccine's free and all that good stuff, but guess what ain't free? ICU.
Right.
So the one previous before that, we discussed, there was an article.
Man, I've been gone that long.
4 episodes, bro. There was an article that came out that Cody brought to our attention about there's actually states, and Texas has always been one of them, still are, that wants to secede from the union. And what were our thoughts about that? Was, do you think that if a state wants to, number one, should they be able to? And number two, what's just your overall thoughts of people wanting to do that?
What brought us to it is there was an article that had come out where they did a poll, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was something along the lines of, I think 30 or 40% of independents were in favor of some type of secession, and like 60 to 70% of Southern conservatives, I think it was like that, was in favor of secession. And then on the other side of it, I think it was like, what, 50 or something percent?
57% or something like that? Almost 60% of Democrats.
Liberals,
yeah,
from like your West Coast liberals were in favor of secession. So it was just, it was an interesting
and we
dive.
Started off by saying, and again, it's polls are so freaking
Right.
misleading because it's only people that answer the damn polls.
Right.
So, that's one of. But just that topic in general was kind of like, well, let's,
So, all right. How in the poll? How many people actually voted? You guys know?
No.
They didn't say.
Yeah, it wasn't. They did break it down, kind of Hunger Games style. The
Yeah, well,
poll
it
was
was
broken down into like these regions that they polled, and it was kind of like, okay, where are we going with this, and how is it? It was like it was a USA Today poll, or it was a very I guess it wasn't a
Formidable
leaning
source,
poll,
yeah.
So it was like, all right, so we kind of dug into it a little bit and was like, so where do you fit in that?
So I don't really know a lot about it, and I'm kind of just speaking blindly and just on recent successions and compressions from us going through school. I don't know, man. Like, a lot of people always saying, go back to this place, go back to that place, do this, do that. If you don't want to be here, do this and do that. And that was in reference to one thing being for the whole state, whole country. So now, it's funny that the same people would rather just separate themselves and do their own thing. So it kind of puts a ban over if it doesn't work. I'm going to tell you to move, but then, fuck it, if you don't move, I'm going to move. Hypocritical, but would it be positive for the U.S. or would it be negative? It's so many things, so I can't really.
Terribly negative.
Right. So I would want people to do what they want, but do what's best overall.
Number one, it's unconstitutional.
Right. Well,
I mean, it's but where Cody and I were going with it was that, like, I don't think people truly, when Texas has actually petitioned it.
Yeah, we picked on
like
Texas a lot.
a number of times, just throughout like the last 25 years. Like, they've tried to get petitions signed and bring it to Congress like 3 or 4 times in the last 20 years. Florida's another one; they've done it a few times. But I'm like, I don't think y'all really understand what that means. So I went one step further, and I started looking up federal dollars that the state provides versus federal dollars that the state spends. And every one of those states that want to secede spend more federal money than they receive.
Right.
I mean, than they give. So it's like, okay, so you realize that you lose all that federal money.
Highways, everything coming from something else. And they don't really get taxes in Texas, too.
So, well, you're correct. There's a lot of income tax, stuff like that they don't pay. Oh. But it's like, do you not realize, like, that once you do, this is successful, like, you better get your shit together. Because that means somebody's about to come conquer your ass. Because you're no longer part of this conglomerate country that has,
And that's one of the things we were saying, too, that without making foreign allies, you really wouldn't stand, because if pick a side, if they were to ally with a communist country or something, now you have communists right here as our neighbor, and historically those two don't mesh well, and when they're neighbors, there tends to be armed conflict, so there was a whole bunch of cons. And I don't even know if we came up with any pros. I don't think we had a single pro with it. Yeah, it's just we weren't in favor of it. We weren't. So.
That's just crazy, man. But that's I mean, at the same time, we should be banning those guys. But like, you know, like, it's just real unnecessary for a state like the size of Texas, California, to want to do stuff like that when they really get the best benefits of any state as far as what they possess. Like we was talking about their taxes. You know, we always talk about that. Like, man, I wish I didn't have to do this and that. And we know. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't interrupt you.
Because it might be something I could bounce off.
One of the things that we had discussed too was the imbalance that it would cause for the rest of the United States. So let's say Texas leaves. That is however many congressional electoral votes for president, for seats in Congress, seats in the Senate. So that tips the scale of power as well too, which we think would cause a snowball effect. So like if California left, for instance, when now the majority of our country is conservative, and that's where the majority of the decisions are going to be made. So you'd have a lot more liberal states that want to go with California. And the same for the conservative side. If Texas left, Louisiana wouldn't be far behind. Then Mississippi and Florida. You couldn't just have one state because that balance scale would be so far off that I think getting rid of one would just be detrimental. To that scale that we have, those checks and balances.
States.
Right.
Unless you'd have some kind of unity, some kind of regional that would pull together and say, nope, we're going to take this back and this back and this back, and we'll pull this the country back together. That's the only. I mean, because
it's just going to be many pocket wars, man.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's something that as a country, even during the Civil War, there were still corners and areas of this country that never experienced war, right? And it's like, I don't know what y'all. I mean, y'all really didn't give this a whole lot of thought,
Right.
You definitely your mouth's writing checks that your ass can't cash, kind of thing, But so I mean, it's again, I guess still on that, all on that same page. And then the other one was how we kind of started before we hit record was this modern day space race. This SpaceX and Elon and Richard Branson and all these billionaires.
Basically, commercializing space travel.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, but in the world we live in today, like, it's almost would be crazy to kind of not think about anything, and the way the dollars and everything running, you could kind of figure something like this would be happening. Man, at one point we was really thinking about seeing 1, 2, 3 spaceships actually go to space growing up, like just being launched, and the fact that these people are actually like, hey, you want to take a cruise?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to click somewhere, like, we missing something.
Right.
Something is happening that we are truly missing, man.
So wrap your head around this. We looked at the price that it cost per ticket to go on. Which one was it?
It was Blue Origin. It was Bezos's.
Private space tour or whatever. $250,000 for a 10-minute ride?
Well, it was 4 minutes of weightlessness.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
You're in space for 4 minutes.
The tickets range from $125,000 to $500,000, and it didn't go into detail. But the only thing I can assume is that the $500,000 price tag would be for a recent, like the next trip,
right?
And the $125,000 is in 5 or whatever years.
Yeah, that was like 5 or 10 years worth of tickets that they were like in advance selling.
They've already sold $150 million worth of tickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going, where you at? Who in the fuck is spending this kind of money?
Gotta start somewhere.
Holy shit.
Might be Elon.
Well, he's doing it. He's one of them.
Right.
I'm saying, just to buy in people. He might have,
but shit, why is he ain't trying to compete with Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin.
Right.
He's going on his own free. But see, that's the thing. These guys are worried about, so NASA has launched, I guess with this new, And people are interested in it. People are talking about it. So NASA's going back to the moon 2024. And they're going to use, Blue Origin, SpaceX, these guys to do it. And there was an article that Elon put out. Elon has zero interest in the moon. This dude is 100% saying, I'm going to Mars. Like, fuck the moon. The moon is done. We've been there, done that. Going to Mars.
I saw an interesting article a few days ago where NASA is looking for 3 people. They're going to be paid, but you have to have like a doctorate in some kind of astrophysics type thing. But they're currently looking for 3 people to live 1 year in a simulated Mars environment. Like you're going to take virtual reality spacewalks and to see if you can even sustain living in those type of environment for
Like
a
the movie
year.
Martian.
But this is gonna be done on Earth. But but they
Biodome.
Eating space food and enhancer
Just get ready,
or whatever
man.
gravity.
I'm glad we're gonna be gone from this Earth when they have to go there.
You say that, man. I don't know if when you have to go there, or when they're gonna go there.
Man, so
I ain't going.
I don't really be on. I watch a lot of TV, and you know how we always say, man, you gotta stop watching TV. So if you watch TV, but you just keep a lot of shit to yourself, and then you start seeing life constantly go into that direction, you be like,
Right.
God, I just saw this shit already. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, I watched the show called I don't want to say the wrong name because people gonna kill me.
What's it about?
It's about it might have been 100 to 1,000 people leave Earth for like 20 years because the nuclear radiation made it so bad.
Yeah.
I think it might be called the 100.
Yeah.
Nuclear
Yeah, so
radiation
they in
made it so
space
bad.
and they travel around and they come back to the
So
planet.
and they have this little
it's
circle
on
where
Netflix.
just a general circle. They got doctors, leaders, workers, certain things like that, and they make these decisions while they're in space. And then something happened to where they only have enough oxygen to feed a certain amount of people, so they have to
Go back
take
to
their
Earth.
chance and come back down to Earth. So when they got back down to Earth, the kids that watched their parents assassinate each other situation on Earth. So my thing is, all right, people are really starting to travel away from here. So eventually people gonna look at this and say, man, no guy's crazy. Earth may become unlivable. We're gonna go up here for 40 to 100 years, and then we're gonna have to come down, and certain people gonna be and adapt and outlive this, and they gonna come down, new technology and everything, and it's just
If you want to watch
a domino effect almost.
if you want to watch a good
So
one,
let
on
me
that
ask you this.
same,
I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to get this. So where do you think that we're at in that cycle right now with Earth? Right? Because either we're the first, and this is going to happen, or we're not.
So I don't think we gonna make it. I think
What I'm saying is that if that's your thing, like, does this domino? Are we, us Earth right now, the first domino,
yeah.
or has the dominoes fallen? All this has happened, and we're just the next domino to fall.
That's deep. I'm gonna answer on the next episode because
So-
pretty much we done already done this already. And
Exactly.
it's just
So-
us.
so-
But where are we at in this cycle?
Right.
So 2 things on that. Well, this will be quicker. There's a show on Amazon Prime. If you want to watch a similar one, I think you would enjoy it. It's called The Expanse, and the premise behind that is you have Earth, which is like your elite. People live on Earth, and they kind of govern. We're starting to colonize the stars. You have colonies on Mars, which is very like military oriented. They're Martians. And then you have outer rim people who they're on the asteroid belt and they're mining and stuff like that. And it's just like the different type of societies and how they live. And of course there's conflict and everything else with it. But they have cool concepts like the outer rim people, because they've been living in space for so long, they're not used to gravity. Their bones are thinner. So it's a pretty good show.
yeah,
so if you want to watch something similar, and they do that, like they're starting to regress in the show where they're kind of going through the same cycles. But another theory or interesting thought process is there's a theory of like an 80-year cycle that that our society goes through, kind of like where basically, and I don't remember where they said we're at in the cycle this time, but there's normally a major war or conflict every 80 years or something like that, and it's because those after the war you have good times and peace, and that breeds the next generation of a little bit softer people, which breeds a little bit softer people, which now brings hard times, which brings on another conflict. So that, I always thought that was a pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's
I forget what it's called.
It's an Indian India. There's a philosopher in that's where that. I can't. There's a name for it. Like it's a
right. I
can't
know
think
what it's
of
called
it.
either.
Yeah, and then it's that whole thing that hard times, breed. Easy,
hard people breed
easy times.
yeah.
Easy times breed easy people.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely. I mean, everything. I tell this to everybody all the time in my office. Everything is cyclical, right? Everything has a cycle. Whether it's in our species. Whether it's calendar, seasonal, work. Everything. If either your day is cyclical, you do the same thing, or your month, your quarter, your year. Everything has a cycle, and that once you figure out that cycle, it makes things a little bit easier to understand and comprehend, and I guess predict. And that's, I think, when it comes to the domino issue, like Tory brought up, that's definitely a cycle. When we were in school, there's 9 planets. That's what we knew about. That's what we learned. And I remember the first time my son, my oldest, comes home and he's talking about the planets. Well, Pluto's not a planet. Fuck the hell, it ain't a planet. What you talking about?
Blows my mind. That's it's called the Howey generational theory.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
This is live.
Yeah. But it's we go into that and it's like, well, now there's more planets than I can even think about, and there's galaxies that are and just the when you start thinking about space and galaxies and the expansion of the universe, it's like, where do we fall? Where is this cycle now?
Right.
Like, it's not just a simple little Milky Way galaxy that
we thought.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, if you think about it, man, just in the last, I mean, what, 100 years ago, we were horse-drawn buggies and fighting in the Wild West kind of thing. Look, I know it's over 100 years, but
not much more.
But not much more.
Yeah, I mean, the Model T was the early 1900s,
and so we came from the Wild West to having
skyscrapers.
Space be like a space cruise kind of thing, like you're talking about. That's not a very long time. And then if we have the driving forces to make those advancements leapfrog and jump, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to us actually in our life. We'll probably be old to see people colonizing Mars.
Elon said within
so.
50 years.
And
he said that a couple years ago. And the technology that they've done in the last 2 or 3 years have probably cut that in half.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
only thing is, once those people make those decisions to make it over there,
that's a one-way
guess what
trip.
they're going to do? Try to conquer Earth next.
Go watch The Expanse, man.
I'm just telling you.
You got
I'm not ruled by this whole Earth government. You know what I'm saying? So look,
go.
Let's make it look like an asteroid took them out.
Go watch The Expanse.
I mean, I don't have to. That's why I'm telling you. I've seen this already, man. I'm telling you, and it's crazy. You know why it's crazy? Because as kids, you just watch stuff just to watch it. You know, like the Jetsons. The Jetsons told us 90% of the stuff we already doing now before we even knew a car could even Bluetooth or talk to you. Like, it wasn't even a mystery. We didn't even have cell phones then. You know what I'm saying? Now we riding scooters with your hands on your side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We speaking in the
I can
phones and
charge-
doors to open.
I can charge my phone without it being touching nothing. That's something I still cannot wrap my brain around.
Without
How
being
does
plugged in, you
electricity
mean? Yeah.
pass from two things without freaking actually being connected?
We talked about,
Just saying. We just
but we talked about Tesla years ago. Not the company, the man.
No, the man, yeah.
And that was one of his. And I don't know if that's where they're using this technology from, but that's how he wanted
Earth
to have electricity travel was through the earth, no wires,
Yeah.
no nothing. And he was close, man.
Yeah.
But the government seized all his papers.
Oh, who?
The government.
Who?
You know. Like when he died. First
They
off,
got everything.
hey, first off, they shut him down. They shut him down, and then secondly, when he passed away, they went and seized all of his documents.
So, quick question there, since you said that, right? So, all these shows you watch, you ever wonder how it's the same secret government people that somehow die in the show, and then when the next series start 6 shows down, you see this person that creeped out the back because they done created a clone, made the clone die and make it seem like them, and they just recycling it. Now, the bad part about it is 90% of it start with like 6 people with real good intentions. One is the caring person.
Yeah.
One is the person that actually looks over the workers.
Hey.
And then they just bud. Oh, you did this to such and such, and I felt that was bad. And now they backstabbing each other.
One of my favorite it's not my favorite quote, but like just one that I use a lot is the road to hell was paved with good intentions.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a very true statement.
So it goes from good intentions to power.
Oh yeah,
and once that power come into play, everything goes downhill.
Yeah.
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. They say. I believe that.
Well, that's why
we have checks and balances in place.
That's
Right.
why you always have to have.
That's why government overreach is such a scary
It is.
thing, and it's such a slippery slope. You know.
Yep. But yeah, I think that was a good one. I don't want to get too much because I do want to get another one that we're gonna elaborate on. But I'm glad you're back.
Appreciate it.
I'm glad we got
Yeah.
this recap going in because I need to chop it up and kind of throw some stuff out there with it. But again, we're just going to kind of cut this one short and hit up another one to kind of dive into some new stuff that's hitting. So
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe.
that's it.
Let's come
Glad to be back.
Come
man.
debate me in the comment section.
Saying that too. So, with that being said, it might have some career changes coming up soon. Not maybe by the next 6 months, but yeah, I got some career changes coming up soon.
And, you know,
Me too. We'll have an episode on that.
our viewers are always welcome to come into our comment sections, discuss some things with us. You know,
Hit them comments up. Cody loves being in the comments.
I do. I like interacting, man. So
I'm glad he
come,
does. I can't.
come see me in the comment section.
I can.
guys.
God just don't want me to see the comments, I guess.
Well, some of them's on YouTube too. It's not
all
just
right.
on.
Yeah, they've all
on Facebook.
recently. It's on YouTube and it's
Right.
pretty interesting. But
So if anybody wants a good read, man, go look at our teen vaping episode and go read the comments.
yeah,
They got
it's funny.
got some debates going on those.
Again, if you're in that framework and you want to dive in, again, educate us. Let us know.
Yes.
Because again, we don't we don't proclaim to be experts in anything.
Nope.
These are things that we just talk about and kind of bring to our own light, and trying to share it with everybody. So
And these guys eat cow tongue, so hey,
I don't. I
I've
tried it.
There's a
Tried it.
difference.
Don't eat it.
they eat it. Cow tongue.
I've tried it. It tastes like
Is it,
beef,
dude?
man.
No, never mind.
It's the taste buds that get you.
Yeah. It's kind of like octopus. It's a little suction. So ending with that, the divide is not so wide.
Peace.
Oh, man.